study the topics effects of variation of properties the, on the performance of the vapor compression cycle. We already discussed about the VC cycle, the simple VC cycle, ideal cycle. Now we are going to discuss today what are the effects on the performance with the property of a refrigerant, changing the property of the refrigerant. Before going to the effects, first we discuss how to draw the TDS diagram for different cases. The first case is dry saturated vapor after compression. Suppose after compression, the refrigerant should be, suppose, dry and saturated vapor. How can you draw the TDS diagram? So, first you point the dry saturated vapor here. Means dry saturated means the outlet of the compressor at a vapor saturated line. So you already know about that the compressor in the compressor the adiabatic process is there. So you can draw the straight line from this. Suppose we point this two and then draw the straight line which is parallel to the temperature line, and this suppose the point is 1. Okay, then from this you know that after the compressor the refrigerant should enter into the condenser. In the condenser the constant pressure process should be there, constant pressure heat rejection process is there. So yes, in this wet region this is a constant pressure and constant temperature line and should be meet here. So which is a saturated liquid line. After that the expansion process is there in the expansion valve. So in the expansion valve the entropy should be increased but the enthalpy should be constant. Then after that here this is 0.4, this is the outlet of the expansion valve. Then at 0.4 the refrigerant is a two-phase mixture enter into the evaporator. Then you got the point 1. So from the 1 you know that this is a isentropic process, so you can draw this line. So how can you draw the diagram, TDS diagram, if the some cases is there like that dry saturated vapor after compression? So from there you can find the scope of the system. So the work done is the area between the closed curve 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. This is the area under the closed curve, which is equal to H2 minus H1. Okay. Then the heat absorbed in the evaporator. You can say that the refrigerant effects is the area under curve 1, 4, G, F, 1. This is the area which is the heat energy should be extracted from the refrigerant. Okay. Then you write the formula for heat absorbed by the refrigerant effect by the work done. So the core formula of this case is H1 minus H4 divided by H2 minus H1. So move to the next case. Suppose case B, suppose the superheated vapor after compression. Suppose the refrigerant should be in a after compression should be in a superheated region. So suppose the point 2 is here, mark the point at 2. Then from this you can know that after entering to the condenser the process should be the constant pressure heat rejection process. So this is a constant pressure heat rejection process from 2 dash and 3. This is a constant pressure heat rejection process. Then after the condenser the refrigerant should be in a liquid state. Then after expansion, these refrigerant expand in the expansion valve, and we got the point at 4. And then from outlet of the expansion valve the refrigerant into the evaporator. In the evaporator, the heat is extracted by the refrigerant. Then you got the point 1, and then you can draw the straight line, because in the compressor the isentropic process should be there. So the entropy should be constant from 1 to 2. So from here you can find this diagram, TDS diagram. From where you can find the scope of the this case. So how can you write the formula of enthalpy at point 2? So this is very important. How do you write the formula of enthalpy at point 2? So S2 equal to S2 dash. This is a S2 dash plus the sensible heating, sensible heating of the refrigerant, which is got from MCP delta T. So the Cp is a constant pressure, because this is pressure is a constant. Cp into the saturated temperature, the difference of the saturated temperature and superheated temperature. This is superheated temperature minus by saturated temperature. We got the value of enthalpy at point 2. So this case is very important, because we have to write the formula of S2 like that. Then move to the next, vapor after compression. After the compression, the refrigerant should be in the vapor state, wet state. Okay. So wet state means the point should be lie under this row. Then suppose this point 2 is a somewhere point 2 is a wet region after compression. Then after that the constant pressure process heat rejection should be there in the condenser. Then after the condenser, the refrigerant should be in the liquid state. Then after the expansion for the equation is there, in the throttle process should be there, where the enthalpy should be constant. Then after expansion, then the heat is extracted in the evaporator. Then after that, from 1 to 2, the isentropic process should be there in the compression. So this diagram should be got in this case. So how you write the formula of S2 and S1 in this case? Because you got the value of 3, S3, and S3 is equal to S4, because its isenthalpy process should be there. Isenthalpy process should be there. So how you write the value of enthalpy at point 2? Like that, S2 is equal to HF, which is HF plus the dryness fraction of the refrigerant X and into HFG, the value of this HFG. Okay, you got the value and put the value of put these values in the formula of the hope. You got the value of hope. Then move to the next very important case, wet compression and dry compression. Wet compression you already see in a previous slide, like that. This is a wet compression. Before entering the compressor, the liquid into two phase. Now after leaving the compressor, the refrigerant should be in a two phase. Liquid and vapor phases should be there. So this should be the wet compression. Entry to the compressor should be in two phase, and the outlet to the compressor should be in two phase. But in dry compression, you can say that this is the cycle of either diagram of the simple or ideal cycle of the DC cycle. So at the entry of the compressor, the refrigerant must be in a vapor state, saturated vapor state. So this saturated vapor state should be entered into the compressor. Then the compressor compressed isentropically from point 1 to 2. After that, the constant pressure heat process should be there in the condenser, where the heat is generated from the refrigerant. Then the ideal sulfur process should be there 3 to 4. Then after the expansion valve, the heat should be injected to the evaporator and the heat extracted from the storage space. Then it should be the all at point 4 the liquid vapor phase should be there, we inject to the evaporator, and then all vapor should be converted into the whole liquid should be converted to the vapor state. At point 1 the all refrigerant should be in the vapor state. So this is called the dry compression. So in the VC cycle we need the dry compression is very useful for the VC cycle. You can also state that compressor, because the wet compressor represents the incomplete vaporization of the refrigerant. So suppose here at point 1, so all liquid should be not converted into the vapor, so the refrigerant effect should be incomplete, it should be low from as compared to this diagram. Okay, then the wet compressor depends the incomplete vaporization of the refrigerant, thus there is a reduction of the refrigeration. Okay, then the liquid refrigerant may be washed away a lubricant oil or increase the wear and tear. So here the liquid state of refrigerant should be there, which can wash the oil of the compressor, which is turned into wear and tear of the compressor. So the vapor state should be very desirable for the in a VC cycle. The liquid refrigerant may be damaged or compression valve. So slightly superheated is that the excess superheated will increase the work of input to the compressor. So in the VC cycle, slightly superheated is desirable, but enough excess superheated which increase the work input into the compressor. So only desirable to slightly superheated should be there, because all the vapor should be converted, all the liquid to phase should be converted into the vapor states. Now we can see the vapor compression system in phase diagram. So where first we know about the, before we enter into the main topic, effects of the variation of the property on the performance of the system. First you know about the PS diagram, because we are using the PS diagram in that case. So you can see that this is a dome case of the PS diagram. This is a dryness section. Dryness section should be here like that, and this should be critical point. And this line is isobaric, where the constant volume is there, and this isentropic compression, and this is superheated region, this is a wet region to phase region, and this is a subcooling liquid line. Here is subcooling region line, and this is saturated liquid line, and this is saturated vapor line, and this is known as isothermal process line. So we can draw the like that. We can draw the PS diagram in a VC cycle. Here this is a 1 to 2. This is a compression isentropic process, and this is a constant pressure process is there. Like this is a constant pressure process, and this is a enthalpy, where the enthalpy should be constant in a expansion valve. So and this is 4 to 1 is a constant pressure process is there. So you can draw the PS diagram like that in a VC cycle. Now come to the effects. The main topic, effects. What are the factors affecting vapor in a vapor compression cycle? The first is effects of suction pressure. Suppose we decrease the suction pressure. First, this is a original cycle 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the original cycle. Then we decrease the pressure of the suction. So like that, this is a pressure of the suction, and this is a compression. After the one dash, after that the compression process will be there, and this is a condension process, and this is a expansion process. So you can see that Here 4 dash 1 dash, the refrigerant effect should be decreased as compared to the previous original cycle. And the compression, the work input in the second cycle, when we are decreasing the pressure, the work input should be increased. You can see that in the diagram. So the refrigerating effect should be decreased and the work input should be increased. So the coke should be decreased. So when we decreasing the suction pressure, the coke should be decreased, because decreasing the refrigerating effect, increasing the work input, and the decreasing the coke. So the fourth effect is decreasing the volumetric efficiency also there because of this, because the pressure difference should be increased. When the pressure difference should be increased, this should be the bigger value, which is minus by this factor should be the value of volumetric efficiency should be decreased. Now come to the second effects. When we increasing the delivery pressure, means condensation pressure. So 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the original cycle, and 1, 2 dash, 3 dash, and 4 dash is after increasing the condensation pressure. You can see here the refrigerating effect should be decreased from the original cycle as compared to the original cycle. Then here this compression, the work input should be increased from the previous cycle. So you can see that when increasing the delivery pressure, condensation pressure, the refrigerant effect should be decreased and the work input should be increased. So the coke should be decreased. So the pressure ratio should be increased. From this formula, the volumetric efficiency should be decreased. Now come to the next effects of superheating. Suppose we heating the, before entering to the compressor, we heat the refrigerant to be superheated in a superheated region. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This is original cycle of simple or ideal cycle of AC cycle. Then the new cycle is 1 dash, 2 dash, 3 and 4. This is a new cycle after superheating. So this amount should be a superheated. Okay, you can see that the refrigerant effect of the second cycle, which is the superheated region, should be increased. But we cannot say about how the work input should be increased or decreased. It should be increased or it should be decreased. You cannot say about that. So the coke should be may increase or may decrease. It depends on the refrigerant. So increase in the when we heated superheated of the refrigerant before into the compressor, the refrigerant effect should be increased. Then and the work input should be the function of the temperature. The work input to the compressor with superheating, as the temperature increase, work input also increase. So the work input should be the function of the temperature T1. So the T1 should be larger and the work should be the larger. Then the coke of the VC cycle should be increased, may decrease depending on the refrigerant. In case of R12, in R12 the refrigerant effect should be large and the work input should be there less. So here the coke should be increased. When we using the ammonia, and the superheated result in a decrease in the coke. Now next effects of subcooling. So you can see the diagram of PS diagram. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is original cycle. Now we are condense the refrigerant to be subcooled. Before we condensing the refrigerant at a point 3 in the original cycle, but in the new cycle we condense the refrigerant to be a subcooled. So point 3 dash is there. So 1 dash, 1, 2, 3 dash and 4 dash will be the new cycle after subcooling. You can see that the refrigerant effect should be increased and work input should be the same. So the coke should be increased. So in subcooling of the refrigerant effect should be increased, work input should be the same. You can see the figure, and the coke of refrigerant, the coke of the VC cycle should be increased, and the pressure ratio should be same. You can say that the volumetric efficiency should be same. Then the next effect is effects of suction and condensation pressure. So we reducing the temperature of evaporator, increasing the temperature of evaporator and decreasing the temperature of condenser. So how will they affect in the performance of the system? So you can see that 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the original cycle of VC cycle, and the second one we decreasing the temperature of evaporator and increasing the temperature of evaporator and decreasing the temperature of condenser. The cycle is 1 dash, 2 dash, 3 dash and 4 dash. You can see that. The refrigerant effect for the new cycle should be increased. You can see that this is the refrigerant effect should be increased, and 1 dash, 2 dash, this is the work input should be less. This is the work input should be less. So in the new cycle, the refrigerant effect Rm should be increased and the work input should be decreased. So the cope of the system should be increased. You can see that the pressure ratio should be decreased here. So the volumetric efficiency should be increased. The effect is first is Rh increases, decreasing the work input. Third is cope should be increased because of the formula of the cope, and the pressure ratio should be decreased. So volumetric efficiency of the system should be increased. So there is some merit or demerits of the VC cycle system. You can see that merits first. VC cycle gives the high cope compared to the other system, and this is very close to the reverse Carnot cycle. Then second one, the running cost is 1/5 of the air refrigerant cycle. This cycle should be discussed later, the air refrigerant cycle. And the third one is size of the evaporator should be small as compared to the same refrigerant effect. Suppose we are taking the air refrigerant cycle and the VC cycle. The size of the evaporator for the VC cycle is small as compared to the air refrigerant cycle for same refrigeration effects. The fourth one is evaporator temperature adjustment is simple by adjusting the throttle valve. Now, looking at the demerits, initial cost should be for VC cycle very high. This is inflammability, so it should be catch fire. So if some leakage is there, so it should be catch fire. So we can use the refrigerant. The selection of refrigerant should be very important in this VC cycle. So the gas should be not. Then the fourth is decay. Decay problem also there because you can see that in the compressor the decay of the refrigerant should be there, and this is toxicity. Thank you. This is all for the tutorial lecture.